have been well trained.
No.
You don't have to carry a sword to be powerful.
I won't fail you.
Oh, do not.
I'm not afraid.
Please don't try.
Hello again, everybody. This is Todd, and I'm here with another Star Wars Destiny video. This is the Chance Cube coverage of the 2018 World Championship for the game we all know and love so very, very much, Star Wars Destiny. On the left here today, we're going to be watching a match with Paul D running Elite Talzin, Elite eAurra. On the right here, we have Michael B, also known as Bobby Sapphire, running Elite Sabine, Elite eEzra. Both of these decks rather obscure as far as the meta goes. Oh, wait a minute. No, I'm just kidding. Sabine eEzra definitely made a huge following here at Star Wars World Championships. eAurra Talzin, I don't remember seeing a lot of coverage, but I may be wrong. I did not get to watch the entire thing. This did happen on a Thursday, I believe, and because of that, I was at work and was not able to do things. So it looks like Sabine eEzra won the battlefield choice, and Sabine eEzra choosing eAurra and Mother Talzin's battlefield, the Ewok village. I think one of the reasons that is the case is he wants to get those shields on Sabine, because Sabine is usually one of the prime targets at the beginning of this particular game, particular matchup, if you ever see that across the table. But Sabine eEzra running those hyperspace jumps can get their battlefield back. I did not see what he's running, but I'm sure we'll, if we see that hyperspace jump, I'm sure we'll see that coming up later in the game. Either way, we're on Endor with the Ewok village. We are going to have a little bit of a jump cut here in a minute, just so there's no confusion. But in the meantime, we are seeing a holdout blaster go up on Mother Talzin. So between all the dice, with Mother Talzin and holdout blaster all having 2 range damage sides, and oh my goodness, there's some range damage right there. And then eAurra having her double 2 damage sides, and then as well being able to discard a card from your hand to increase the value of the eAurra die by 1, just being super powerful. As you can see, we had a little bit of a technical issue with the camera and the recording, but we are back on and still in the first round. But at the end of the first round, we are seeing an already knocked out eEzra. And then 3 damage on eAurra. Definitely a big round for both sides. Being able to push through some damage onto eAurra. eAurra does have just 1 less health than Sabine, but for some reason feels so much more squishy. And then, of course, losing the eEzra on the Sabine player side. Definitely is a hard thing to deal with, but at the same time, Sabine has all the tricks. I'm pretty sure we're going to be seeing some second chances coming in here, which is definitely a go-to card for the Sabine eEzra deck. Now, with Mother Talzin and eAurra, I really do like eAurra. I like seeing her out in the battlefield. I like seeing her being played, being able to see some cool characters that don't always get the best rap, being able to get out on the field. And most of this is thanks to the very low-costed characters that have come out in the recent set of Legacies. All of a sudden, the characters that didn't have a whole lot of pairings before suddenly became a lot more viable, being able to get pairings with characters that are quite strong in themselves. Now, eAurra showing a 1 range damage side is about to do 4 damage to Sabine. How did that happen? Well, let me tell you. It's a very cool and spicy card called Battle Rage. I suggested this once on a live stream for somebody else, one of our other many content providers for Star Wars Destiny, and suggested they put that card in the deck. But it is a situational card, but including it can make a big difference. So this particular card, Battle Rage, is a 1-cost event, yellow event, and it says spot a character with 6 or more damage, resolve one of that character's dice, increasing its value by 2. So your character already has to have 6 damage on them. Usually when characters get that much damage on them, it's not too long before they're defeated. So you have a very limited window to play that card, which I totally get. But if you can get it off, that's an extra 2 damage from hand. It's kind of like a lightsaber throw, except you get to resolve the die as well. And then on top of that, he discarded a card to increase eAurra's die by 1 anyway, so we ended up seeing a 4 damage off of a 1. The surprise damage from hand is definitely a fun thing. I love to see that. I love to see those really fun, exciting plays. It makes the game a lot more, in my opinion, makes the game very interesting and very fun to watch, because you never know what somebody's going to pull out. You may be sitting there thinking, oh, well, they're going to go to one more round, and then all of a sudden, nope. All the characters are defeated without you knowing. Had that happen to myself so many times. I'm sure you guys have as well at home. All right, so eSabine was able to roll out and just do what we all lovingly refer to as eSabine things. That being, of course, able to roll in and resolve her range damage size showing without having any mitigation even able to be played at the end of the round. So eSabine, obviously with only one character now, Bobby Sapphire is going to be able to claim the battlefield pretty frequently. Mother Talzin and eAurra just being a little bit slower than eSabine. Going to see some really fun things happen. We already have the second chance on eSabine. He did not want any more battle rages or additional surprise damage coming out of the hand of Paul running eAurra Mother Talzin. So, now, one trick that you want to remember with eSabine is if you have one card, one weapon on eSabine that has ambush, and another weapon that has ambush in your hand, and none in your discard pile, you want to get that ambush weapon into your discard pile, if at all possible, before you roll in eSabine. And you want to make sure to keep that ambush weapon in your discard pile. As an example, I did a game a little while ago. I was running eSabine Maz, and instead of overriding a holdout blaster with an X8 sniper, I made the choice to play it in addition to. Little did I recognize that by doing that, I no longer had the ability to get an ambush weapon into my discard pile. And so for the next round or two, I was unable to use eSabine's ability because I did not have a weapon in my discard pile. So if you have a choice to add a weapon to eSabine or overwrite one and put the other ambush weapon in the discard pile, I suggest overwriting it. Even if you have the resources to do it, being able to get that out on the next action, being able to ambush that in, and be able to do that unmitigatable damage, see, I got there, is just super valuable to be able to do. Now, we did see another card right there. I believe that is Subdue. So that's another interesting card that has to do with damage on a character. Subdue says, in essence, that spot a character who has 3 or more damage on them and remove one of their dice. So you have to have damage already on an opponent's character before you can remove their die. Not a super good card against eSabine. She's going to be able to roll out and resolve her dice really quick when they are showing those really big damage sides. And if they miss those damage sides, then open season. You're able to hopefully get out there and just knock them out. So it looks like we see, I know there's a little bit of glare there, but we do have a running interference on the Sabine eEzra player's side for Bobby Sapphire. Running interference, still an actually really good card. It can still lock out your character. And when you're able to lock out a character, even if it's only once or twice a game, if you can do that properly and get it in just the right situation, you can rock the socks off of somebody, being able to just shut them down, especially with Sabine being able to roll out and resolve damage, and then you can play Never Tell Me the Odds, discard the running interference, and suddenly you've got a game. You've got all the damage in the world. So there's a little bit of a debate between running interference and Infamous on which one you should play in that particular deck. While running interference can lock out your opponent from playing cards at all or rolling in a character, Infamous just speeds you up rather than slowing your opponent down. The biggest difference, I think, is the cost. If you are struggling with resources And with Sabine eEzra, that definitely can be an issue. We do not see a Muzz's Vault on Bobby Sapphire's side, so he is only getting the 2 resources around. He has to manage those very carefully between his mitigation and his upgrades and overriding for Sabine's ability. And then on top of that, we've got even some pay sides on those ambush blasters, which can be painful as well. So taking care to keep track of your resources, and so the running interference in this particular case might have been the better call instead of running Infamous with Never Tell Me the Odds. Also, running interference, being able to stop your opponent from rolling in a character before you're able to get out there and knock them out. So, something to keep in mind. All right, so Bobby Sapphire, obviously being the pro that he is, I don't think he has another ambush weapon yet. And so, instead of adding the X8 sniper, he overwrites it to make sure he keeps that ambush weapon in the discard pile. We have some really bright lights showing on I'm sorry, I shouldn't make fun. In the videos that I record, I have the exact same problem. It's something that's very hard to align, especially when you're not playing in when you're not recording in a set environment that you've controlled. Props to the Chance Cube guys for setting up and running these cameras and recording all this stuff and broadcasting it so that all of us who were not able to go to Worlds for one reason or another would be able to watch and enjoy these wonderful games from home. Thank you very much, Chance Cube. You guys are awesome. So as we move forward, we are showing 8 damage on Sabine, but she still has that second chance that we saw him put down in the previous round. Mother Talzin sitting at 6 damage, but Mother Talzin does have some tricky plays that she can get out there. I know there are Rise Agains, there are Witch Magics, all those things are able to... oh, look at that, Witch Magic right away. Now let's see, we get a Holdout Blaster, a Force Illusion, and... let's see what he ends up doing. Okay, so the last card was another odd number. I was not able to see what it was. So Mother Talzin able to heal up 2. Oh, just 1. The Force Illusion was the only even. And then Bobby Sapphire, having resolved all of his dice, hyperspace jumps, removing an entire turn from Paul. Oh. At the event that I mentioned that I was at an event earlier today. Hyperspace jump was the bane of existence for several of the characters, several of the players. Even it got so bad at one point that one of the guys said, "You should be ashamed for playing that card." He was, of course, joking. We have an excellent community here in this wonderful game. Hyperspace jump, while being annoying, does cost 3 resources, and now we see that Mother Talzin has enough resources for a Rise Again. Rise Again being able to play an additional upgrade on her from the discard pile, as well as healing 5 damage. If he has that card in his hand, I anticipate that we will probably see that relatively soon. Sabine, though, having the Ambush Blaster, the X8 Sniper on there, has a potential of 9 damage in a single roll. So Mother Talzin definitely, sweating a little bit when it comes to her activation. Sure enough, looks like Bobby Sapphire may not have another... oh, yeah, he may not have another weapon in his discard pile. He's gone through it, and I do not see another weapon. So he's once again being very careful, overriding the X8 Sniper for the DL44. Oh, I think I may have also seen a Hidden Blaster in there. Let's see what he decides to do. Each of those do have ambush, so either one of them would be an excellent play. It just depends on if he thinks he can get enough for have the extra resource to be able to pay for a paid damage side or not. All right, so he elects to do the Hidden Blaster. Still gets the ambush, so now we have a possible max damage of 8 coming in on Mother Talzin from Sabine. So this could be the last roll of the game, guys. But it's not. If you're looking at the time code, yeah, this game is not over just yet. All right, so, may not have the Rise Again, plays an additional Holdout Blaster on Mother Talzin. Oh, and then plays, oh my goodness, a Quick Draw and a Hidden Blaster. Mother Talzin rolling in 5 dice. And with the Quick Draw is now able to get an additional action to be able to do some extra damage. Basically turning Mother Talzin into Sabine. All right, we are showing damage. We have damage. Houston, we have damage. I am counting 4 damage across all the dice. So now the way it works with second chance is the damage is dealt in packages. So if you overkill a character who has second chance on them, that damage is wasted and they still heal completely back up the 5 that second chance gives you. So Sabine will be back to only 6 damage on her. Still in range of that subdue that we saw earlier from the Mother Talzin player. But, yep, and sure enough. So he hits the second chance, and oh my goodness, with Mother Talzin's ability, was able to get an additional 2 range damage on her dice. So he did the 3 in a package, and then did an additional 3. So Sabine is all the way back up at 9. We only need 2 more damage, and Mother Talzin, by golly, has a 2 range damage side that is completely possible to happen right now. Whew! Ladies and gentlemen, this is a spicy game. This is awesome. So Mother Talzin only has 4 damage left on her. Sabine has 2. Bobby Sapphire may have the other second chance in his hand. We're going to have to kind of wait and see. So one more note. When the Sabine player did hyperspace jump, he did switch the battlefield from the Ewok village to the Outer Rim outpost, which, if he's able to claim every round, which is usually pretty likely, he's going to be able to draw an extra card to be able to get through his deck a little bit faster, as well as gain an extra resource. So each round, if he can claim, he's basically starting with 3 resources, basically turning that battlefield into a Maz's Vault without benefiting his opponent. Fast decks. Definitely, if you're running a fast deck, that battlefield can almost be considered a lock for you being able to get it most of the time. I think I see another hyperspace jump sitting in Bobby Sapphire's hand, and I may have seen an additional second chance. A second chance, if you will. Mother Talzin rerolls, gets the focus side. Not what you want to see, but not bad. Bobby Sapphire not doing too much more. Alright, so we overwrite for the Force Illusion to be able to prevent additional damage from Sabine on Mother Talzin. Mother Talzin sitting now at 6 damage. This is getting pretty massive here. So we may be looking at going for a mill strategy, but I think Paul definitely has a lot of cards left in his deck. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, I can't count. That's a lot of cards. So he may actually be down to 10 cards in his deck on Paul's side. Bobby Sapphire going through his discard pile, trying to see what he's already used, what he may still have. One key component to Star Wars Destiny is the ability to look through your opponent's discard pile at any time to be able to determine possibly what cards they may still have in their deck. Bobby Sapphire claiming the battlefield after checking through the different discard piles, making sure he keeps that resource in his hand, and sure enough, there it is, another second chance on Bobby Sapphire's side. He's getting that just in time, and he's got 6 resources to spend. He's got money for days. My best guess is that he's Bobby Sapphire, if it was me, I would probably play that second chance first to be able to get it on the board to make sure that he can't quick draw over on the Mother Talzin side and be able to do some Sabine things to Sabine. But let's see what Bobby Sapphire decides to do. He is the professional player. He is the one at Worlds. I am not the one at Worlds, so we'll kind of see what happens. You got the money, though. I think the second chance may be a good play, unless he did see that second quick draw in Mother Talzin's discard pile. Then he would know that that's not a possibility and can probably roll in Sabine and try to knock out Mother Talzin in one go. If he rolls a double 3 on Sabine, he could very easily win this. Force Illusion only being able to block one of those packets of damage. So, now that he has a couple of weapons in the discard pile, he elects to add the X8 Sniper. He had the money for it. Adds the X8 Sniper to Sabine on her activation, rolls out, and gets some stuff. Unfortunately, though, I do not think it's enough stuff to be able to knock out Mother Talzin right this second. Looking a little bit closer, I think I'm seeing an easy pickings in the Sabine player's hand, in Bobby's hand. Oh, he just scrolled through it real quick. I did miss a couple of the cards. Now, you may also notice on Bobby Sapphire's side, he's got this cool little token with a picture of FN2199 on it, and it says overwrite. It's a specific token tracker so that he can keep track of when he has overwritten, as you can only do that once per game. That is actually a change from the original version of Destiny that many of us played at the beginning. You were able to overwrite upgrades as many times as you wanted. Bobby Sapphire didn't see what he wanted on the roll, so for his ambush action, actually overwrites the Hidden Blaster with a second chance. Mother Talzin's probably over there thinking, really? I got the roll, and then you overwrite with second chance. That's, well, at least that's the reaction I get many times that I play second chance. All right. But we get the Feel Your Anger play, so Mother Talzin, I believe, has a very strong chance to be able to make it through this round. And make the Sabine player go right into the next round. Mother Talzin not even rolling out yet, but we do know that Bobby Sapphire has that hyperspace jump, and if he can, he's going to do that. So, Mother Talzin with the Witch Magic. 1, 2, 3. Let's see. I did not see all the numbers on those. I believe, though, he did end up getting all 3 odd-numbered cards, so he was able to heal 3 damage completely, taking Mother Talzin basically out of the kill zone for this game, for this round at least. Sabine max damage on the 2 dice there would be 6. And with the Force Illusion on Mother Talzin, it's just not going to happen. Oh, here comes the backup muscle. Backup muscle, however, does not work past second chance. So while it can activate second chance, it will not go past it. So far in the game, there is actually nothing except straight damage that can go through a second chance. So in order to pop a second chance, the Mother Talzin player would need to roll a 2 damage and then 5 damage on the remaining dice that she has, which is definitely possible, but here's the hyperspace jump. So that is the second one. Now, hyperspace jump, although we are seeing him put it in his discard pile, hyperspace jump really is only able to be used, actually played, each card once per round. So when you play hyperspace jump, you're supposed to set it aside. However, a lot of players nowadays are not running recursion cards to be able to pull it back out of their deck. And so it's usually not a huge deal, but you do want to keep in mind that how many times your opponent has played hyperspace jump to make sure that they don't try to bring it back with a rebel or any other card like cheat that can bring a card back from your discard pile. Because technically the hyperspace jump is not in your discard pile anymore. It's in the set aside zone, which is a brand new zone brought to you by FFG in this wonderful game of Star Wars Destiny. So Sabine still sitting at 9 damage, but she's got the second chance, so an effective 7 health left on Sabine. Mother Talzin sitting at 6 health remaining, but has the Force Illusion, so anywhere from 7 to 9 damage left on Mother Talzin. So we're looking at a pretty even game right now, except for the fact that Sabine is able to do her Sabine things. So we're going to see what Sabine is able to roll out right here. Getting that extra resource each round is definitely helping the Sabine player to get out those big helper damage. Backup muscle could definitely come in key, though, if he's able to just get 6 damage on Mother Talzin's dice, which is totally possible, then that backup muscle could finish Sabine off. So it looks like we get 3 damage coming in on Mother Talzin. She does not Force Illusion. Not a whole lot of cards in Hero Yellow that can do unblockable damage, especially when we're dealing with range. So being able to wait on the Force Illusion until absolutely necessary for you to do, and even if you can just stop 1 or 2 damage to keep Mother Talzin alive and not have to discard as many cards from your deck as definitely the way you want to go. However, in looking at it, I don't even know if Paul has a deck anymore. Where did it go? Did it disappear? Did it turn invisible? All right, that's a movie quote from Monsters, Inc., in case none of you guys knew that. Ooh, man, this game is turning into a thinking man's game for sure. Trying to keep track of what your opponent may have in their hand, what they have in their deck, how much damage is left, how much damage you can do, how much damage you can't do. So Sabine still in range of Mother Talzin being able to knock her out, especially with the backup muscle there. If he can keep Mother Talzin alive for another round, backup muscle this round, deal 1 damage to Sabine, knock that second chance off. We do not have a recursion card as far as I've seen on the Sabine side, so once the second chance is gone, that's all she wrote. So Sabine sitting with the 7 health left, but that Force Illusion on Mother Talzin is doing absolutely nothing. So he overwrites for armor plating. Fantastic. Armor plating, basically a Force Illusion without having to discard cards from your deck. The only difference, of course, is that armor plating can only stop 2 damage, and if I remember right, I don't think it can stop a single damage side. So if only a single damage is coming through, that armor plating is not going to help you. It has to be 2 or more damage, and I think you either discard it to stop 2 of the damage, or it gives you a shield. I may be thinking of a different card there, but either way, armor plating going to help Mother Talzin stay alive just a little bit longer. Now, Paul knows that he doesn't have to hurry his turn. He gets a second backup muscle. We are going to pop that second chance this round, ladies and gentlemen. There is no more hyperspace jump. He discards an impersonate, which is definitely not good. Oh, we lost a die. That's definitely one of the fun things. Now, if you do lose a die off the table, generally you just re-roll it, which is what we saw in this particular case. Mother Talzin rolls in. Can she do it? Yes, she can, but will she? We don't know. The backup muscle can take Sabine, pop that second chance off. He reveals the top card of Bobby Sapphire's deck to see if he can turn that Sabine die, showing 2 or 3 damage. I think it was just a 2. Being able to absorb that into the armor plating. Yep, so you discard it to block 2 damage. Backup muscle, number 1. And will we see backup muscle number 2? Now, this is an interesting case, interesting idea. We get the easy picking. So Sabine now no longer in defeatable range for the Mother Talzin player. All right, so we pop the second chance. Sabine, 5 damage left. And this is the final countdown, ladies and gentlemen. The final countdown. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Okay. Mother Talzin, I believe, is showing a focus and a 1 range on her side, so she could focus to the 2 range side just to get that extra little bit of damage. Just needs to try to pop that as quick as possible. Now, backup muscle, so the 1 damage that is showing there with the backup muscle is enough to knock Sabine out, but of course he removes it. Paul claiming the battlefield to get the extra resource and drawing a card, but he no longer has any cards in deck. So the cards he has are what he has got left. He does have, it looks like, a 1/4 portion in his hand as some removal. So that's a possibility for him to be able to throw that out in the next round. So Mother Talzin can absolutely pull this out. Sabine can also, all Sabine needs to do is just roll out, do what we so affectionately call the Sabine things, and knock Mother Talzin out of the game. Just with a single 3 range damage or a combination that adds up to 3. Mother Talzin rolling in and getting a nut roll. That is lethal on Sabine. Unless Bobby Sapphire can pull a miracle roll out of Sabine, or maybe some mitigation. This game is pretty close to being done. All right, so we do see Mother Talzin deciding to reveal the top card of Bobby Sapphire's deck without any dice. I think he's just looking for something to do, looking to see what he's got coming up next. He doesn't have a deck to be able to use Mother Talzin ability, but as far as I can tell, Mother Talzin has lethal damage on Sabine at this exact moment. Bobby Sapphire rolling out, playing the DL44, forcing Paul to remove one of his dice. He removes the pay side damage on one of his holdout blasters, on the holdout blaster actually. Got a holdout and a hidden. And Sabine gets the roll. She rolls the damage to be able to kill Mother Talzin, and the game is won. Bobby Sapphire moving on. I believe at this point he was undefeated, being able to go into round 5 with a 4-0 record. What a fantastic game. Really cool cards being played on both sides. And Sabine doing her Sabine things to be able to clinch the game. Congratulations to both these players. They did an excellent job, and we'll catch you guys in round 5. Thanks for watching.